welcome to Glenorchy. So behind me is Mrs. Woolley's General Store, where we're actually camping right beside it tonight. It's mid-afternoon. We decided to get a little iced latte. They have soy milk, coconut milk, and oat milk here. And so we're gonna see what else they have in store.
So an interesting fact is that Milford Sound is actually just over the mountains past Glenorchy, but anybody who is visiting Queenstown and wants to go to Milford Sound actually has to drive like 3.5 hours around the other side of the lake and like loop around to Milford Sound. In our last video that we filmed where we actually went to Milford Sound, it took us like 5 hours to get there, which shouldn't take 5 hours, but there have been people that have been calling for a road between Glenorchy and Milford Sound. That would basically cut the time to like an hour and a half, but a lot of the residents from Glenorchy, of course, don't want that because then that would turn Glenorchy into like kind of like a tourist hub, and it's just like this cute little small town just like tucked away up at the top of the lake. I don't really blame them, although for travelers that want to get to Milford Sound, it would really make life a lot easier.
Oh, I always want to get in the water, but then by the time I'm like halfway in, I feel like I'm already cooled down enough, and then I chicken out. Okay, so we actually did go out for our walk a little earlier before it got kind of dark clearly behind me, but while we were walking down to come to this kind of lagoon boardwalk, we ran into some internet friends. If you're watching a lot of New Zealand YouTube content right now, you may know them. Their names are Glenn and Motto. And we actually just ran into them in the town in Glenorchy there. So we ended up sitting and chatting for a little while. And of course now it's getting a little bit darker, but Nick and I still figured that we'd come down here to the boardwalk and kind of just see what it's all about. So I actually heard that the lagoons down here are a lot warmer to swim in than the water we were swimming in earlier. So we may have to do that again sometime when it's sunny. You should see what I'm looking at. It is so beautiful. Let me show you. Okay, hi. This is like maybe not that big of a deal to other people, but it's felt like it's an ongoing conversation for us and just stuff that's been on our minds lately, and we want to update you. So obviously we're living here in the South Island. Queenstown is honestly like amazing. We love it so much. We really like our jobs and all of that, but I know it's only January, but it really does feel like winter is approaching. Like if we don't make a plan for winter soon, we will be stuck in Queenstown for winter. So we have to think about where we're going to move next and what kind of jobs we're going to get and all of that. And originally the idea was to go to South America come June. Right now finances are looking like a little bit, so we may not be able to do that as soon as we hoped, and we may just need like a couple more months of saving. So what we were originally going to do was do the South Island till June, South America, come back, and then do the North Island for a year. And now we're starting to think, okay, maybe we'll do the North Island a little bit sooner than we had originally planned for. And our new idea is that in the next couple of months, we will move to the North Island of New Zealand. Maybe, this is a hard maybe, go back into full-time van life. It wouldn't be in this vehicle, so we'd have to get rid of this vehicle and then get like a proper van and all that. I honestly can't believe I'm saying it. Those are all of our kind of thoughts right now. Of course, like things change all the time. Until we say we're gonna do something like definitely, we don't like promising anything, because once we say we're gonna do something, we'll do it. So if you're watching from New Zealand, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the South Island versus the North Island, and some recommendations in both places, because we're gonna be doing a lot of traveling in the next few months. We're just kind of deciding where we wanna go next and what our next moves are gonna kind of be. So anyways, all that being said, I'm getting kind of hungry. The more I'm talking, the more I'm getting hungry. So let's go make some food in the communal kitchen here. There are so many more people in the campsite this morning. We may be competing for a burner in the kitchen, but that's okay. We're not really in too much of a rush. We do want to get out and explore more today, but we're also just going to take this morning slow. Let's go to Paradise.
Is that how the song goes?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Paradise.
The only parts I heard are like the So I just thought
That's how it goes.
I know, I just thought he was making the noise.
Yeah. Welcome to paradise.
The cast and crew of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit loved filming here and even said, who needs an afterlife when there's paradise right here on Earth? Here it is. It was a 15-minute drive to get here from Glenorchy, and there's not really much. It's just kind of an old dirt road and there's some old buildings. Really the main attraction here is this sign, but there are also tours that come here because Lord of the Rings filmed in a few different locations. We don't know exactly where they are, but it is kind of cool coming to like all of these iconic sites and trying to have like the mind of like a location scout and being like, hey, this would be great to film here and this would be great for this scene. And it's just kind of cool to put yourself in the mind of that person before it was filmed and being like, this is it. So a little life hack here in New Zealand, if you come to visit, just rent a vehicle and just follow the tour buses. Right now we're going down the road because we know that there are some Lord of the Rings film locations here, but we don't know exactly where they are. So right now we're following any kind of tour buses and like tour guides, and wherever they're stopping and taking photos, we're gonna stop and take photos.
Look, they stopped here. Guys, this has got to be a Lord of the Rings filming location. Something happened here.
Behind me is beautiful Diamond Lake. It's actually a place that you can camp. It's a dock site. I think it's like $10 for the night, but we had heard that the sandflies can get pretty bad here. Being that we usually have to have our doors open to cook and all of that, we figured maybe this wouldn't be the best spot. Even just looking over on this side to where like people are camping, it looks like staged. Like it's beautiful.
Okay, so I just applied more sunscreen. Nick is applying more sunscreen right now because it is only mid-morning, but after all, we are in New Zealand and reapplying sunscreen feels like it's something that you do every 20 seconds here. But in the meantime, I have to admit something. This is the main reason why I have wanted to come to Glenorchy. And it's because we're parked up here at the Glenorchy Animal Experience. It's Kiwi owned. And like I said, I've been looking forward to it for a pretty long time. So let's go check it out.
So we just got our safety briefing on how to feed the animals. And now we are going to check out this lovely farm with all kinds of different animals. These snacks kind of taste weird, but whatever. Well, you got some fucking teeth on you, eh?
Oh my god, they're so cute, dude.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. Competition. No. Okay, so that was like one of the most amazing experiences that personally I feel like I've had in New Zealand so far. Like the people working there were just so amazing. The animals were so cool. Like obviously the backdrop is just stunning. You know, the thing that we were talking about last night about how we're considering like a change in what we're doing here down in New Zealand. A huge factor of it is just finances. Like obviously living in Queenstown is really expensive, and when you live in any kind of tourist town, that's just how it's gonna be. There are a couple ways that we do save money, like just at the animal farm there, we booked through BookMe, which you can get kind of like locals discounts through BookMe. The animal farm or Milford Sound or certain scenic flights and stuff like that. And then just like other little things, we shop at Pack and Save. We find it to be the most cost-effective grocery store, and then also to use First Table for restaurant bookings. I mean, it's called First Table because you get the first table of the night. It's 50% off. So if a restaurant, say, opens up at 5 p.m. and you make a reservation for 5 p.m., you could get 50% off of your final bill by using First Table. And then finally, the last thing that we do is just try to find free things to do. Going to the beach, or if you want to jump off the wharf, stuff like that. Like there are so many free things to do. New Zealand is so beautiful, and I'd say that's like our main travel money-saving hack that we have, is always seeking out free things to do. We're getting hungry, so we're just gonna go for a quick bite to eat.
Another thing that we like to do is to be up to date on like the local deals or the specials of the week. So right now we are at Locker Room here in Queenstown, and it is 50% off wings with the purchase of a beer, which is a smoking deal. They have a whole bunch of flavors of cauliflower wings, and for 12 wings it's normally $18, so you get it for $9, and the cost of a lager is like $7, which is really cheap, especially here for Queenstown.
There's something about discussing leaving the South Island that really makes us want to stay. After all, we just got comfortable here. But as always, we'll see where the road takes us.